Welcome back, everybody, to our Thursday night Facebook Live. Winter Circle peers facing life struggles. Thank you for joining in tonight. My name is Toy Beasley. I'm with TAS, Treatment Alternatives for Safer Communities. This Facebook page is here for you for encouragement and resources. Sometimes, having to bring in a spotlight so you guys can see what's going on in your community statewide. You can be able to find out what's going on in your community, or refer somebody what's going on in your community on this Facebook page. So tonight, like I said, every Thursday night we do a Facebook Live. We try to spotlight a speaker in a community. So tonight I have Augie
Ghilarducci.
Yes, I said it right. He is from Second Opportunity. He's going to come and talk about what he do, how he got involved. With that being said, Augie, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, first, thanks for inviting me to do this. I haven't done a Facebook Live before, so this is kind of cool. My name is Augie Ghilarducci, and I was born and raised in Chicago. Came from a good home, solid middle class home, and I had a successful financial planning company for almost 20 years. And then I got involved with the wrong people. I made some really horrible choices and bad decisions, and I was convicted of investment fraud, and I served almost 13 years in federal prison. I came back to Chicago in 2017, and my plan when I came back to Chicago was not being involved in the type of work that I'm doing. I was actually doing some work for a guy who had a executive search and staffing firm. I was doing some corporate training. And the way things work out, they just happen. I was introduced to by email to Sheriff Dart at Cook County Jail, and I was invited to go talk to their programming team about the different courses that I had developed while I was away and instructed to hundreds of guys over the years. And really, I prepared those courses as I was looking at my life and how I was going to re-enter and the barriers I kind of felt I would have to face and what I would do to try to get back on my feet. And so when I shared some of the material with the programming department, they asked me if I would start to go into Cook County and do that work. And at that time, I had just been out a few months, so I didn't know how I felt about going back behind razor wire. It was still a little bit raw for me, but I felt in my heart it was the right thing to do. They did make it clear at that meeting that they had no money in the budget to pay me, but they would really appreciate if I would volunteer. And certainly that's what I ended up doing. And so it's been amazing because since that happened, when I started there the first week of January 2018, and since that happened, Second Opportunity has really kind of taken off. So now I go into Cook County, Kendall County, Kane County, Woodford County jails. I was actually working with 9 jails in central Illinois, getting ready to start some work down there when COVID hit. So that's been set to the side. Recently did some virtual programming with the Illinois Department of Corrections in 3 or 4 different locations. And that was exciting. And it looks like we're going to continue to do more work with them. And then I've done work with Above and Beyond, Substance Abuse Recovery Center, done work in the Women's Treatment Center, and I've actually done some work when I was in Cook County Jail with the West Care drug program. So it started that I would go in and do the programming, and then on the other side of the coin, I would go out and speak with employers about the benefit of hiring people that had backgrounds. And I was really blessed. I was invited to speak in front of some chambers of commerce and some larger groups of employers, and able to develop some relationships so that I'm able to refer people that are getting released or have been out and haven't gotten any real traction with respect to employment. And I'm able to get them referred in and placed into jobs, which has been a real blessing for me. So it started with me doing everything in person, going into the jail or prison. But now things have really we've gotten on the technology train. So the jails and prisons around the country are putting modified computer tablets in there to provide programming and music, that type of thing for the inmates. and it's projected within 3 years they'll have 2 million tablets deployed inside jails and prisons.
Oh, wow.
So we started putting material onto the tablets. We went into the Naperville Public TV studio, and it was great. We shot all the video that needed to be done. And then the workbooks that we have were put into a format that works on the tablets. The video got integrated. And then I actually called on a former cellmate of mine, Ulysses, and he came into town and did everything in Spanish. So all of our programs are offered in English and Spanish. And so we're now at the point that our stuff's available on tablets. And then because of COVID, a lot of the jails and prisons aren't letting people in as far as to bring programming and other services. So we've been able to combine virtual workshops before people go to the tablets and actually do the curriculum. And then we come back and circle back and do a follow-up workshop after they've had a chance to do all that. And so that's been exciting for us. And then with some of the work that we've been doing with probation and some of the recovery centers, we realized that they didn't have access to tablets. People weren't incarcerated anymore. And it's not worth going back to prison for. The material's not that good. But what we did is we now, in January, we're rolling out we're relaunching our website so that the programs that we have, they're life skills and employment readiness programs, includes financial literacy, communication skills, conflict resolution, different strategies for dealing with reentry barriers, goal setting. So it's a pretty robust amount of material, and we now can offer it through the website. So people that are out and maybe still struggling to get back on their feet, they can take the programming, and then we provide them the assistance with referrals for employment. We can make referrals for housing. We can make referrals into substance abuse recovery centers for that type of treatment. And then we're offering peer support groups. So kind of like you're doing here, but it's more of a group of maybe 20 people, all with similar lived experience, various phases, some out and successful and doing well, some just getting out, wide-eyed, not knowing what the next move's going to be, where we can sit around and talk on a regular basis and just support each other and encourage each other. And then I've got a group of individuals that are willing to serve as mentors. So if somebody needs a little more one-on-one conversation or is having some real specific issues, we want to make sure that they have somebody they can talk to. So that's kind of in a nutshell how things have come together and where we're at today. We want to continue our work in developing employers, and had some great opportunities actually talking with the Department of Labor about bringing, I know about the apprenticeship programs they have inside of prisons. I was fortunate to take part in an apprenticeship program way back in 2007 at Sandstone. And so now we're going to be going into jails and prisons, primarily the prisons, to encourage those that are currently locked up to get into apprenticeship programs. So when they come out, they've got some real current marketable skills that allow them to be employed in higher wage jobs that have benefits and give them a lot more opportunity.
Wow. All you viewers just joined, I have Augie here with Second Opportunity. He's coming to talk to you about what he do with his agency. I got a couple of questions just want to follow up you with. How can an individual get out? Do you have to come from prison to get involved, or can somebody still be in the community? And if so, how do they get involved? How do they contact you about getting involved in their services?
So great question. Thanks for bringing that up. So no, you don't have to be incarcerated or formerly incarcerated to work with us. In fact, Toy, one of the things that I found is we've done work with the family members of people that are presently incarcerated. So they're going through a big issue too, right? And that probably they lost one of the incomes that was going into the house. They've got additional expenses and stressors and what have you. So we encourage family members to contact us, and when we go in front of the men and women that are locked up, we tell them, hey, have your family come to our website, sign up for the newsletter, and we'll answer their questions. We'll help however we can. So the website is the place to start. It's secondop.com, and I think you're going to put that up.
Yes, I'm gonna put that up. Yes.
Yeah, so it's secondop.com, or you can email me, Augie@secondop.com, and we see how we can help. And if it's an employment related issue, we figure out where you're at, make sure your resume is in place to go, and we'll start referring you out to employers.
I've been getting a lot of calls about, what are we doing for the families on the outside that the current, their either spouse or significant other or family members on the inside. What are we doing for the ones on the outside? Because I have found out over the years that when you put the whole family together and get them involved, that individuals that's been incarcerated has been more successful. So I think it's so important that you do that, and that was great that you guys are indulging that. So besides that, do you have to be in Chicago, Illinois, to be a part of your services? Can you be somewhere else to get the information you need since you went virtually?
Well, we can. I mean, anywhere in Illinois, we're in really good shape. So I belong to, like you, the Alliance for Reentry through the Safer Foundation, and so there's an entire network. Just a quick story. I did a virtual workshop at Vienna Prison in the Illinois system, and I don't know, there might have been 12 men in the room, and it was about a 2.5 hour workshop. And probably 3 weeks ago, I got an email from one of the men that was in the workshop, and he said, hey, I just got out, and you were talking about different training programs, and I'm really interested in getting into welding. Can you help me? And so I emailed him back, and I said, I'm glad to help you. Where are you located at? Where are you staying? And if you're in Chicago, please tell me the part of the city that you're in, because there's different programs available. And he wrote me back and said, I'm in Mount Vernon, Illinois. I had to look them up on the map. They're way south. But to go right into the network and find a welding program, I sent the guy the link, the name of the person he needed to speak with, and the phone number. And about 3 days later, I got an email from this guy who said, I spoke with this guy. We did a Zoom meeting. It was great. He's got me enrolled in a program. I'm going to be starting right after Thanksgiving. So I feel really confident that certainly in the state of Illinois, we can provide the resources and the referrals for those types of things.
That's great to have that resource, because like I said, a lot of guys get out, especially in the rural areas.
Yes.
They don't have that contact. They don't know what's around. So it's good that you have that technology that you could put in something and find out what they is. Now, excuse me. Now, the places you refer these guys to, is there a cost involved?
No, the services that we provide with respect to helping people with employment, referring for housing, and those types of things, no, it's just through the network that we have.
Because I know back in the days when I got out of the system, they didn't have a whole lot of this going on, and plus it was a cost. And so you and I know that when most of the guys get out of prison, we don't have any money. We have limited resources. And if we do, the money we do have is going right out the window for whatever reason. It could be, we don't have any clothes or whatever it is. That's why I asked about the financial part. So another thing I want to run by you, what is that do you have partners involved with you that work with you to help these guys? Are you the only one involved?
No, but we actually, it's kind of neat. We started, when this started, there's a guy I met. His name is Dan Efren. He's a terrific guy, but I didn't know him before I went away. I just met him in like October of 2017, and he saw what I was doing my stuff, and he asked if he could go, watch a program. And so he came with me to Above and Beyond, and I was doing a workshop. And anyway, afterwards, he said, Augie, you need to do this. I mean, this is what you need to be doing. And so he's made us into a real organization. We have an office, we have a website, we have phones, we have everything we need to be successful. And he's the one that's made all that available for us. My cousin Donna Saravich came in, and she's like community outreach, speaks to employers, different nonprofits, because we have been engaged by other nonprofits to provide some of our material to supplement what they're doing. So, for example, we do the employment readiness and help their people get employed to wrap around the services that they're already providing. And then we've got our other, I call them our thought leaders and our presenters. So there's Ulysses Valdez, who was my cellmate. He's in Minnesota, but he gives us the ability to have our material and our presentations in Spanish. And then locally here, we've got Marlon Chamberlain and Chico Tillman and Yakov Delaney are involved in our, the actual continual refinement of our curriculum, and then presenting the material. And then Erin Gibbons joined us recently, and she's terrific. She has a background where she's helping us with our communication piece, as far as the website, as far as the newsletter, and the ability to really turn this into a community, because that's what we want to develop out of this, is a community of people that have gone through these type of negative life-changing experiences, but now are finding their way back and are willing to help others as others are coming out and looking for that type of assistance.
That's awesome, because there are employers out there that don't understand what a lot of these guys go through. And it's very important that you put up this. It's like you got the dream team put together to help to advocate for these individuals that's getting out. I know I got a call a few months back from a vice president secretary of State Farm here in Bloomington, Illinois. I know State Farm is a very big insurance company. And she said that it was a lady at church that she was working with side by side doing something. And she asked her, where she worked at. And she said, I don't have a job right now. And she asked her, well, why don't you have a job? She said, because of my criminal background, I don't have a job for whatever reason. And then that got her involved. They got her thinking. And then she went back to her vice president at State Farm and said, why don't we hire felons? And she knew the reason why, because of insurance reasons, because of banking. She said, what about the warehouse? Right. So maybe I can try to connect you with her, because I think that you got all these people involved. You got people speaking to the employer. I think it's important to get everybody involved. So that's good you're doing it. I remember when I met you, remember at Denny's. Was that
Absolutely.
2 years ago?
Yeah,
and I remember we were sitting down in Denny's, and you had just got basically not just started, but you was really promoting it, getting it out, and things like that. So it's good to hear that you have all those individuals around to help you push this. I love this. I love the name Second Opportunity, because it's good to have that. So you've been out for how long now?
I got out, and I actually came back to the halfway house in July of 17, and I finished my sentence May 1st of 18. So I've been back in Chicago about 3.5 years.
Okay. What are the things you're doing right now? I know you're involved with your Second Opportunity. You're involved with Reentry for Alliance for Reentry. What are some of the things you're doing in your reentry right now to stay sane? Because you were locked up a long time.
I was locked up a long time, and I have things that, like, we all go through, right? And so I'm trying to fit back in, but I started while I was away, through the generosity of some friends and family. I started my MBA on a correspondence basis with Adams State University in Colorado. So I'm finishing that up. It's something that I really wanted to do. I know my dad, he was alive. He died in 2014 before I got out, but he was pleased that I was looking to resume my education. So I want to finish that up. I really enjoy oil painting, something I learned to do while I was away. I don't have as much time to do it as I would like, but it's certainly a great release for me to pick up the brushes and listen to some music and put up some paintings. And so I enjoy doing that. I stay strong in my faith, and now that it's kind of, we've gone in a wrong direction with COVID, but I enjoy getting into the gym and just doing a little bit of exercise and clearing my head. So seem to be doing okay. I mean, I live with my wife Leanne, and we've got our little bulldog Tyson, and that keeps my home life sane. So everything is good. I'm blessed in many ways.
The reason why I said that is because I've been out for 20 years and I do a lot of different things. I'm involved in small groups. I do this, I do that. But when this COVID hit, it's like you took a lot of it away from me. You took me going inside the prisons, because part of my job I do with Taz is go inside the prisons and in the communities and talk about promoting the Winter Circle or just support groups, period. And all of a sudden, when this COVID went down, that was all taken away. And it's like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
What's going on? And it's like, wow. And it reminded me is that, it's important to take care of self. And I realized that I wasn't taking care of self like I should, because I depended when I'm in a low point of my life, even when I'm driving down the highway, when I'm getting up the next morning, you know what? I get to go inside the prison the next day and energize these guys, because that energizes me.
Right.
But when all of that was taken away, it was like, wow. But anyway, Augie, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I'm gonna put your website. I'm attach it to this Facebook Live and have individuals get involved. So once again, if an individual wants to get involved, how do they get involved?
Just come to the website, or you can go to there's like info at Second Op, or email me directly, or call me. The phone number's on the website, and let's talk about what it is they want to be involved in. I mean, we're always looking for people that want to be involved in helping to carry out what we're trying to do. But if they're in need of the type of services we provide, then we certainly would like them to reach out and see if we can assist them.
And what's your mission again? What's your primary mission?
We provide programming, life skill and employment readiness, and then the follow-up services as far as job referrals, housing referrals, and then peer support and mentoring.
Once again, audience, viewers, you do not have to be an ex-con or ex-convict or returning citizen to be involved in this program. This program is also for individuals, families. If they got families that's incarcerated and they want to be involved, to get connected, I think this would be a great opportunity for individuals to get involved. Absolutely. So Augie, I appreciate it. I thank you so much. I'm looking forward to continue working with you, continue networking with you. I already know there's 4 or 5 people that I'm a senior way that get connected with you. And like you said, you do not have to be in Chicago. So they can do some of this virtually to get it started, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do you have any last minute comments you want to shoot to the audience?
I'm grateful, Toy, that you've given me the opportunity to tell our story in front of people, and I'm glad to network and interact with anybody that wants to talk about how we might fit together on some things. So I'm grateful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. Thanks, Toy. Take care.